Hey, for all you scopers, you gotta turn the clicker off or Captain gets...
I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was 31 inches big. What a ridiculous specimen.
People fake. Think they need to start a kid. Tryna be real. This right here to start a kid. Pick the grind. Look like I just started it. Counterfeit. Guess it from the thought of it. People fake. Think they need to start a kid. Tryna be real. This right here to start a kid. Pick the grind. Look like I just started it. Roll one if your dog hold you down.
We are not ice fishing anymore, thank goodness. And the captain is getting after it bright and early.
Honey, we're home.
Ross Robertson, big water fishing on Lake Erie, was nice enough to let me finally get back on open water.
We are breaking all of the rules. We are fishing memories a little bit, even though the screen was loaded up on the Humminbird this morning, but really dirty water. We'll probably talk more about the water clarity and how much that matters, but literally went over about 1 million fish. Yeah. We got one that we got like we went right by his face here and he's like, ah, cheeseburger, sure. Yeah. There's only about 100 of my best friends that are right near us, so we're just gonna do one of these because it's not a giant. I'll get the hooks out of this thing. He got all chinned up. Had it underneath.
The icebreaker.
He took it off like he was going 100 miles an hour. There we go. This is not the biggest walleye that me and the Target Walleye boys are gonna have, but it is our first, so we're gonna share it.
It's gonna be a fun day, man.
Whoa. That thing's flying back. Oh. Oh man, that's one of the nicest. Whoa, this is heavy. That's very nice of you. The lucky hard-boiled eggs. There is a lot of weight here.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Like I'm scared to even reel. I'm freaking nervous, man. I've been nervous about a walleye in a long time. It's refreshing doing something you know nothing about. Please stay on there.
I'm gonna go eat a sandwich and we'll see you in about a week.
146 still.
Outside yours, you know?
This is getting heavy, man.
You've been at this a little while.
I'm telling you, this is...
I could read a book. I got through chapter 1.
I'm freaking... I got like buck fever right now, too.
Patience is a virtue you need with this.
It feels so heavy, it feels like it's hooked in the tail and it's coming in backwards and its gills are open.
It's possible. We're hanging around in this way too muddy of water to try to get the one, but we shall see.
This is where I am so glad that you're in here. Back up. I think it was like rated 80.
You know, everybody ever noticed they're always netting them underneath the boat, and when you come back here instead of going up there, those fish get high, and I always am netting them out if you really kind of think about it. Rarely am I under.
Sure.
I feel like we could be introducing it right now.
I'm so nervous I'm not even saying anything right now. We're at 35 feet. My wrist feels like it's gonna, whoa. What was that? Did it just pop off? No! Oh! Dude, it was so big. Oh!
I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a giant.
It was so big. It was so big.
It's an amazing podcast talking point though. It's amazing.
The good news is I didn't get to see how big that fish was because the water's a little dirty. The bad news is it's definitely the single heaviest walleye I've ever had on in my life. I don't even know what to compare it to, but holy oink oink elephant.
I don't want to pile on, but I feel like you kind of gave yourself walleye buck fever. Because you were like, you kind of like, things happen, they come off, but I feel like you were nerved.
I was rattled, man.
That's a good thing though. If you aren't excited doing this, like go home.
I was shaking, I was rattled, well, thanks for giving me an opportunity already at probably the heaviest walleye I've ever caught in my life, and I'll try to do better. I'll try to be better.
The day is young.
Dang!
I Need to know
Middle.
everything. Who in the what in the where I need everything.
You want this one, Chief?
Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse. I'm ready
This is so
for war.
sick,
I'm
man.
coming for throws, so turn it with
That's not
ghosts. I need to
small,
know everything.
and it's about 1/5 of whatever the last one was.
Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let him in talk up their
Your
body,
turn.
another one body, this is how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking
60.
the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. They're not developed, but get none of their nose, none of them cold. They just got lucky, but never adapted.
Fatty
So
but
when it was
goo.
coming to blows, my enemies
Look at your girl.
close. I let them think that they got
Girl, you gonna take her to the prom?
Beautiful. I am. We're gonna snuggle.
Lake Erie is a different animal.
Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throws, to turn it with ghosts. I need to know everything. They ain't go harder than me.
That's
They
all
need a
Ross.
blade in the sheath,
All I
a
did
shank
was
in the
this.
piece, a crate full of heat, a army of fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea, where they some marine, an ace up their sleeve, a
You're a
team of
beast.
marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they would lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications.
Yeah, what color
and
is
my till
this?
it is all done. I think it's all
That's a
fun.
Ross special. Are we allowed to show?
Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse.
I wasn't sure what this was. Apparently it's a Ross special. I believe it's a Rapala gold miner. Is that right? It is. But I've definitely never seen this color. What is that?
Special sauce.
You dirty dog, you.
Ross is the detail guy.
Kind of matters.
60. Middle board, left side. Swinging way back.
This could be how we normally do what we do.
Sick. Yeah.
Oh, got another one. Here, I'll take that.
Holy smokes. Really doing it, Harry. Oh, he's not that little. You have a fish?
Little one, but yeah. Actually, you know what? We're gonna try steal back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. You gonna try to get it off, or what are you doing? What was that trick? It just made it shoot 20 feet to the right.
No, I took the front off.
So you just cracked the back of the rod, and it released the front of the planer board? Okay.
If we have multiple things going on, I can do 2 things at once, basically.
Well, that was cool. I like that trick.
Decoy net.
Decoy.
Oh, you're a beast.
You want to do this one?
I think you should get it. Finish is a pretty good one.
Wouldn't want you to catch a good one on camera. 80. I guess it is.
It's okay.
Yeah, boy.
No, it's time to let the captain actually reel one in, because he's just been handing them off to me like I'm a little kid all day.
I need instructions.
So, I think it's your turn.
Well, east wind. Okay.
Ooh.
East wind. Fish out of the east. They bite the least. I don't know, something like that. But here's the deal. So what we did, Husky jerks. Neutrally buoyant, perfectly suspend. Like to stall these things. When the bite gets tough, go Huskies.
I'm gonna make you do this all solo, but I
You just
sure
want...
that would be better than me helping, actually.
It's fine. I got you. Oh. We like to fish these on mono too.
How's she feel?
She feels real good. But as we taught Brett, you know, he's one of them scopers a little bit. He does it all, but he's a scoper, okay? He's a little younger than me, and by little I mean like a bunch. But here's the thing. We taught him today, you got to reel slow. Slow.
Keep it low, he says.
Oh, yeah. Nice fish.
Reminds me of St. Patty's Day. I know of the gold miner and the down deep husky jerk. I know they're both deep diving baits, big bills. What's the difference? Like, is there a time you would use one versus the other? What's the deal with that, I guess?
You know, the gold miner was created because I don't think anybody's ever fished and said, hey, my crankbait gets too deep. And so the gold miner 30 gets super deep. It gets 30 feet on mono in a relatively short lead. And the other thing is, you know, even if you can shorten up your leads, just because you can get to that depth, if I can get there with a shorter length, I'm gonna have less tangles, it's less time in and out, 100 advantages. But Rapala also wanted to have a louder bait. You think about the rip and wrap, how many walleyes that catches. The gold miner 30 is like a trolling version of that. I mean, this thing has got super sharp VMCs on it, and just, you hear that. It's like a rip and wrap, but with a big old lip. So if you guys are trollers like me, you know, that's your bait for you. And then, you know, sometimes this is not the deal. This is sometimes you see that big bill, there's a little more of aggression there. So then the times like that, we're gonna get into the husky jerk. This is a much more subtle bait. This bait will perfectly suspend. A lot of baits say they suspend. This bait around 50-degree water will perfectly suspend. A lot of times we wanna stall that thing. Big deal, doesn't get as deep, but it's a much more subtle rattle, much more subtle action. And when that water's a little cleaner, husky jerks is your friend for sure. A lot of different ways I set up boards. Here's one of my favorite when I'm using crankbaits or hard pulling things. I'm gonna pop it in that clip. It's a little release clip, adjustable tension. We're gonna spin it around one time. We're gonna put it back behind a clip with a pin in it because that has to stay on. Just let her out.
Easy as that. You make it look so easy.
Fish on outside. Yeah, yes, we do. We were just talking about, you know, how there really is a lot of rule of thumbs in fishing, but they always seem to be broken. And we were talking about liking that louder rattle in the gold miner 30 in this off-colored water. And right now we've got no sun and we've got some off-colored water, and they just hit our husky jerk. So, you know, it's one of those things that you can put all the rules of thumbs you want together, but sometimes the fish just want what they want, or sometimes I think you just get lucky. And we don't let one fish be a changer. I'm not gonna put 10 husky jerks out right now, but when it's tough like this, the bite's definitely off. I always want to have a couple husky jerks out there, and that one is going. And I think it's our new custom one, if I'm not mistaken, color-wise, all you color freaks. But you know, when you're fishing out here, one of the most important things is when you're looking at that graph, I like to mark its speed, and that's where I look at where those fish are at. I don't really care where they're at when I'm fishing. I rarely look at the sonar while we're fishing because those fish will skedaddle from the boat, and a lot of times you won't even mark anything. So when you're marking at speed, that's where I want to see where those fish are at in the water column. And that's going to tell me where to start spreading those baits out. And we should have phoned a friend or something here. But that's where I want to start searching in the column. And you know, there's not a good answer for that. I generally want to fish them as high as I can. I feel like the higher they are in the column, the easier are. Those are fish in the cafeteria up here, and they're in the rest area down here. But some days, especially post-spawn, those fish are going to be deep. And you know, even adding a snap weight to a husky jerk, we just did that a couple days ago. It doesn't work every day, but mix it up a little bit. You know, spread those leads out. Just because you catch one or two fish to start the day at a lead, I can tell you as a guy that fishes 100 days in a row, almost in the springtime, minus a few weather days, it is never the same. You know, what that first or second bite, 2 hours later, that's done. And you may miss the bite because you overloaded all those rods. So we're pretty fortunate here in Ohio. We can run three rods a guy. And so we use those and we really spread them out. You know, we've mixed it up here with weights on, weights off and stuff like that. But we were probably from about 12 to 25 is where we're at. That seemed to be the window here. And when the sun came out, they were a little higher and a little more bitey. And so we kind of switched some things up with that. But you know, that water column, you got to mix them around because a lot of times you'll miss and you'll move or think they aren't biting, but you just don't have baits in the portion of the column that they're biting. So I don't stack a lot in there, and if I do, it's for a very short amount of time, and then I want to switch it back, or you're going to miss a bunch of fish. You're going to misinterpret other things. That probably the most important thing is where in the column those lures are at. Way more important than the speed, all of those other things. Because if you don't put it in front of them, I mean, if I take a piece of cheesecake and I put it on the other side of the window, it don't matter. You can't get it. You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, this is a really nice fish.
You want me to try it? I can try the net.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. I see him too. This is definitely a Captain Gingerfish. He is not, he's long, he's strong, and he's a little feisty. And just barely got him, but. So you can see just barely in there. We actually ripped him one out in the net there. But number 12, deep Husky jerk, one of my favorites. It catches them when it gets tough. It just does.
Sick.
Now this is, I like to say, the luckiest walleye in Lake Erie because she's going right back.
Had to do a quick little battery swap. In the meantime, what you up to?
We got another donkey on here, and we're going to talk about reeling fish. I see a lot of guys, you know, as a guide, I get hundreds, if not thousands of people's, you know, through our boats, and it's crazy on how everybody's always looking around. They're not focused when they're reeling fish, and just paying attention to what you got going on is huge, but also slowing down. So I got a Shimano Tekota here, and it's no different than a lot of reels in that the gear ratio is really fast. So every time I turn this handle, I'm getting 38 to 39 inches, depending on if it's the top or the bottom of the spool, every time I turn that handle. And like right now, I got a board trying to go under, so I'm actually gonna try to lift that thing up because I don't want that tension of that board getting in there, and that's a lot of extra torque. It's like throwing a drift bag out. We got a really heavy fish on here. But another thing you'll notice, I'm just slowly creeping, reeling. You guys in some of the videos that you watch of mine say, hey, you're reeling too slow. And I'm like, no, you're reeling too fast. And I'm not rod pumping. You know, it's just slow and steady. It's very uneventful. This is not tuna fishing. We're not salmon fishing. And everything is just gentle. Also releasing the board. This is all subtle stuff. You start throwing this thing around and it's a bad deal. We're doing this a little ugly because I'm doing it solo. But you notice I'm going to hold this line until I can get this back up because I don't want any slack on that. You guys that are jig fishermen or whatever you do, if you drop your rod, you know, when you got that fish coming in, that's not a good dealer. So I'm going to keep that rod. Also, I like it about like that because I can feel that fish a lot better. And if I have to go up because that fish starts going with me or I reel a little faster, it's easier to do. And then sometimes I'll actually have to go down as well. But believe it or not, I don't actually stick. See, he's swimming right with me now, so now I gotta go a little faster. Crazy. Now he almost gave up and just started swimming with me, or maybe he's hooked a little different. But you just wanna pace the fish. When you're reeling and you're changing your rate, it's because you're pacing the fish. Sometimes this one is really swimming right with me now. Like crazy, almost scary. But we're intense here. He's going to the other side. Another thing I like to do is you see me just kind of following that fish around. I don't pull against him. I just go where he goes. And sometimes I kind of do the tarpon bout thing. Sometimes we'll just pull a little line out. But, oh, I grabbed another line as part of it. This fish is like me. It's a little ornery. It's a little snarky. It's probably a little chunky too. Now you wouldn't normally do this if you're netting yourself here or doing it with a partner. But that's how you get about 28, 29 incher. Well, that there's a nice Lake Erie walleye. Well, we're gonna let go.
Awesome fish, man.
We like to let them go head first like a soccer star. You've seen those, sometimes you just kind of gently let them in. I understand why people think that, but they need to kind of rate themselves, and that way they aren't floating and get pecked up by seagulls.
I like how that time you even said high rod, so I can't screw it up. This one was at 100. This is heavy. Yeah, baby. Let's try to start the GoPro. Go behind. the net. And we doubled. This one's got some oomph. Uh-oh.
6-0?
Yup. Sassy. 34. And it just got mad at me.
Keep that rod a little lower.
Okay.
A little less pressure on it. That way you can always go up and maybe have to sit back here. It's very bossy, I know.
No, I just feel like I'm in your way, so I go back and.
No, you're fine. I'm like a cat with broken ribs.
Oh my gosh. Nice. Thank you, sir. Double de la trouble. Awesome. Send this guy back. Little blood skis. Oh my gosh.
You can sit real. You're good.
I can't. He's freaking. He put his feet down.
Oh, yeah?
Dog in. Is this real life?
That's number 3. Right? Run.
This one's no slouch either. Oh, he just popped off.
One demand. Now it's recording.
Thanks, Ross.
Hey, for all you scopers, you gotta turn the clicker off, or Captain gets
Snarky? Sassy?
Well, I'm just much tougher on the water.
Oh yeah. Get to my mat.
I know. I'm just trying to do a little creative drive here. We have.
Zigging and zagging. All I know is I have not seen many other boats catch fish.
It's been a tough day. I'm telling you, I got some guys out here that are really good, and they're not really good.
Well, you're really good. I mean, dude.
I mean,
You're a freaking beast, man. This is a heavy one.
I don't tell you that anymore.
Like, yeah, I knew that the
Excuse
second
me, sir.
I
This is the largest walleye of your life. Don't screw it.
Yeah. It was. I was just gonna say. I was gonna say 100, and then I'm like, no, this is a random number.
All I can tell you right now, dude, is I think we've earned that 73 tonight.
Ooh. This is heavy, by the way. Still heavy.
I mean, you want to guess little ones, or we're in Lake Erie? You want to come to Jurassic Park? You want some big dinosaurs?
20 feet. And I would just like to see this.
I'm gonna have the electric slide that way.
Oh, and he's going this way now. 13.
Slide right over this. Pull a little line out.
Yeah, he's freaking dogging. That's a big fish, man.
Just watch that camera.
Okay. Holy crap! Look at the size of that thing.
Well, I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was 31 inches big. What a ridiculous specimen. Ross, I can seriously not thank you enough. Absolutely wild time. We're gonna get this fish back. 31 incher. Oh. Like a tuna. Oh, dude, Lake Erie with big water fishing himself, man. What an epic day. Oh, I don't even know what to say. Unbelievable. It makes up a little bit for the giant that I lost to start the day. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think Ross says that's okay yet. Dude, thank you.
Big Ohio, stand up. Whack rappers, sit down.
This is what you get when you get 30 inchers. This is what you get. You get a 73 when you catch a 30 plus incher.
Dude, it does not get any better.
Don't miss. Don't miss.
Knock, knock for your favorite rapper. He ain't no real MC. He can't move the crowd like me. Knock, knock for your favorite scratcher. He